Imagine walking into a 500-year-old temple. You see massive stone pillars everywhere, each one holding the weight of an enormous stone ceiling. But then you notice something impossible. One pillar is not touching the ground. You slide a piece of cloth beneath it. The cloth passes through. The pillar is floating. No support. No visible gap in construction. Just a massive stone pillar hanging in the air. This is not a myth. This pillar exists inside the mysterious Lepakshi Temple in southern India. And for centuries, it has confused historians, engineers, and archaeologists. Because the real question is not how the pillar floats. The real question is, why was it built this way? Lepakshi Temple stands in the small town of Lepakshi in the Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. At first glance, it looks like many other ancient temples. Beautiful carvings, towering pillars, intricate sculptures of gods, warriors, and animals. But the deeper you explore this temple, the stranger things become. The temple was built during the powerful Vijayanagara Empire in the 16th century. This empire ruled large parts of southern India and was famous for its incredible architecture. Their temples were not just places of worship. They were masterpieces of engineering. Lepakshi Temple was built by two brothers named Virupana and Virana. They served as governors under the Vijayanagara, King Akyuta Deva Raya. According to historical records, the temple was built around the year 1530, and even today it stands as one of the finest examples of Vijayanagara architecture. The temple is dedicated to Lord Virabhadra, a fierce form of Lord Shiva. But what truly made Lepakshi famous was something no one expected. A pillar that does not behave like a pillar. Inside the temple hall, there are 70 massive stone pillars, each carved from granite, each designed with incredible detail. But one pillar stands out because it is not standing. It is hanging. This pillar is known today as the Hanging Pillar of Lepakshi. If you look carefully, you will see a small gap between the base of the pillar and the ground. It is small but clearly visible. Tourists often try an experiment. They slide a cloth or a piece of paper beneath the pillar, and it passes through from one side to the other, meaning the pillar is not fully touching the floor. It appears to be suspended. Now imagine the weight of that stone. The pillar is carved from solid granite. Granite is extremely heavy, and yet somehow the structure above it does not collapse. Even more surprising, the temple ceiling remains perfectly stable. This raises a fascinating mystery. If the pillar is not supporting the structure, then what is? Engineers who studied the temple believe the entire hall works like a giant stone puzzle. Instead of relying on one pillar for support, the weight is distributed across multiple pillars and beams. It is possible that the builders used a precise balancing technique, a system where each pillar shares the load of the structure. This means even if one pillar does not fully touch the ground, the rest of the structure remains stable. But here is the strange part. Why would ancient builders design a pillar like this on purpose? Some believe it was an architectural demonstration, a way for the Vijayanagara builders to showcase their mastery of stone engineering. Imagine being a visitor in the 1500s. You enter the temple, and you see a pillar that seems to float. It would immediately make you believe the temple was built with divine knowledge. But the mystery deepened during the British colonial era. In the early 1900s, a British engineer reportedly tried to solve the puzzle. He wanted to understand how the pillar worked, so he attempted to move it slightly. The moment he did that, something alarming happened. The temple structure began to shift. Small cracks appeared in nearby areas. Realizing the danger, he stopped immediately. But the damage had already been done. Even today, the pillar is slightly tilted because of that attempt. This incident terrified archaeologists. It showed that the temple's balance was extremely delicate. One small disturbance could affect the entire structure, which means the original builders had calculated everything with incredible precision. Now think about the tools available in the 16th century. No modern cranes, no computer simulations, no advanced measuring equipment. And yet these builders created a structure so precisely balanced that even modern engineers hesitate to interfere with it. But the hanging pillar is not the only mystery of Lepakshi Temple. The entire complex is filled with strange wonders. Outside the temple stands one of the largest monolithic Nandi statues in India. Nandi is the sacred bull of Lord Shiva. This statue is carved from a single block of granite. It measures about 27 feet long and 15 feet tall, and it faces directly toward the temple. But interestingly, the Nandi statue is located almost 200 meters away from the temple structure. Yet it is perfectly aligned with the shrine inside. Some researchers believe this alignment was intentional, a symbolic connection between Nandi and the deity inside the temple. But again, the precision is remarkable. Another fascinating feature of Lepakshi Temple is its ceiling paintings. These paintings are more than 400 years old, and they are still visible today. They depict stories from Hindu mythology, scenes of gods, sages, and celestial beings. The colors were made using natural minerals and plant dyes, which somehow survived centuries of heat and humidity. Many art historians consider these paintings among the finest examples of Vijayanagara mural art. But hidden among the art and architecture lies a tragic story, one that gave Lepakshi its name. Legend says that when the temple was being built, the governor Virupana used royal treasury funds to construct it. When the king heard about this, he became furious. He believed the money had been misused, so he ordered punishment. According to the legend, Virupana was so ashamed that he blinded himself. Some say he plucked out his own eyes and threw them onto the temple wall. Even today, locals claim you can see dark marks on the wall believed to be those stains. Whether this story is true or not remains uncertain. But it adds another layer of mystery to the temple. Then there is the famous footprint. Inside the temple complex, there's a giant footprint carved into the rock. It measures around 3 feet long. According to local belief, this footprint belongs to Lord Hanuman. Some say it marks the spot where Hanuman first landed while searching for Sita in the Ramayana. But there is another strange detail. The footprint is always filled with water, even during dry seasons. No one fully understands where the water comes from. Some believe it seeps from underground rock channels. Others think it may be connected to ancient water systems built into the temple complex. But there is no clear answer. So here we have a temple filled with mysteries. A floating pillar, a giant monolithic bull, ancient paintings that survived centuries, a mysterious footprint that never dries, and legends of sacrifice and tragedy. But perhaps the most fascinating mystery remains the hanging pillar, because it challenges something we often assume, that ancient civilizations were technologically primitive. The builders of Lepakshi clearly understood balance, weight distribution, and structural engineering at a very advanced level. In fact, some modern architects say recreating this exact design today would still be extremely difficult, especially without damaging the original structure, which raises a strange thought. What if the hanging pillar was not just a mistake? What if it was intentional? A hidden message from the builders, a silent demonstration of their knowledge, a way of saying something powerful. That true mastery of architecture is not about strength alone. It is about balance. Balance between weight and support, between art and engineering, between faith and science. For centuries, visitors have walked through the Lepakshi Temple, many of them sliding cloth beneath that mysterious pillar, trying to understand its secret. But even after hundreds of years, the temple refuses to reveal the full answer. And maybe that is exactly what makes it so powerful. Because mysteries have a strange effect on the human mind. They pull us closer. They force us to question what we think we know. And sometimes they remind us that history may still be hiding knowledge we have forgotten. So the next time you see a massive stone pillar holding up a ceiling, remember the one at Lepakshi, the pillar that does not touch the ground, the pillar that should not exist, and yet it does, which leaves us with one haunting question. Did the ancient builders accidentally create an architectural miracle, or did they understand something about physics and balance that we are only beginning to rediscover today?